provide them information and help write down what they want to do and change. So that is my role. What I'm going to do today is give you an overview of what's in the plan change. You've got a few resources in front of you that I'll take you through as well. Hopefully you'll find that some of the questions you have will go through them. So I just wanted to start with an overview and then really focus on the questions that you guys have. So the plan change is quite a large document, but within it there's these 7 key policy areas. And if anyone opens the Section 32 evaluation report, they'll see that the topics that the plan change has been broken down into are these 7 areas. So I'd just like to touch on each of them so you get an overall feel of what's in the document. So the first one is really the staged approach. So one of the first key decisions that the collaborative stakeholders really made was recognising that achieving the water quality outcomes for the vision and strategy was a long-term goal, and that they thought that doing that quickly would be very disruptive. And so that was a clear goal that they wanted to achieve. We have to achieve it. It's in the legislation, it's in our regional policy statement. But their decision was to say that's a long-term goal, and what we would like to do in this plan change is to write some policies and rules that will get us the first step along the way. So all of the policies and all of the rules in this plan change aim to get us 10% along the journey from where we are now to where we want to be in 80 years. So that's the first sort of policy area, is the staged approach. The next area is making reductions. So this is where most of the policies and the rules in the plan change fall under this topic area. So we'll talk about this in a bit more detail in a moment. But these are all of the actions that we would expect people to take on the ground, and they are where the rules sit in this part of the plan change. The third area is restricting land use change, which also has a rule under there, and that one is one that you may have heard about as well, and that's trying to manage large changes in land use that would increase discharges of contaminants. The next sort of policy area is around flexibility for the use of te whenua and settlement land. So this area consists of an objective and a policy that talks about providing flexibility for these types of lands that have historically and contemporarily had legal impediments on them that other types of land have not. And just to note, for that particular policy area, there's an objective and there's a policy. There's no separate rule for this policy area, so all land use change is applications would be processed under this rule. We'll talk about that in a moment. The fifth area is managing point source discharges. I'll touch on this as well, because this will be of interest to you as a council. So this area acknowledges the existing objectives, policies and rules in the current Waikato Regional Plan. It acknowledges that people have held consents for many years, that these large discharges have been managed through consent processes, and that's been going on. And so these are a few policies that add to that existing framework to try and talk about, now that we've got the vision and strategy, what does that mean, and what might we consider when these consents come up to be reconsented. So there's no additional rules. The current Waikato Regional Plan rules for discharge consents will be continued, and they'll be issued under those same rules like they always have been. The sixth area is around fundamental wetland. So that is acknowledging that's a Ramsar site of international significance. It's a wetland that has unique areas within it on an international scale, and so that has policies and methods around looking at that subcatchment along with Lake Waikato and saying this is quite a unique area. We have the large Lower Waikato flood scheme operating in that area as well. Let's have a look at this catchment specifically. Let's manage the catchment areas and the inflowing streams into that wetland, because it's really quite special. So there's a few policies and methods talking about that area. And lastly, there's the concept of prioritisation and subcatchment planning. So really the key point of this was that this is a very big job. The council has limited resources. People need essentially do whatever it is that they need to do, but we're just going to stagger that over the next 10 years. So those are the 7 main areas. What I thought I would do now is take you through some of the bits of paper you've got in front of you, because they go through these, and they have a series of questions that you might have, and then there's some answers. So I'll just go through this one, which is the paper that's headed up general questions. And so these are a series of fact sheets, if you will. These are all available on the website. You may find that other people find these useful, so feel free to read them to our website, pass these on, anything like that. So the first fact sheet is sort of general questions that people may have. If you turn over the page, the next one's a little about the process. So some of the things that Joe talked about in the beginning of the presentation, about the CSG, who to talk to, how it will work. Over the next page is a summary of the proposed rules. So this is where there's quite a lot of detail about what are the rules that are implemented. So if we read through all of the details right now, I think we may be here all day. So what I'll do is I'll just point out the different rules, and then if there's specific questions that you'd like to ask, we can talk about that at the end.
Could you explain on item number 2, nitrogen reference points? That's what we do.
Thank you. Yes, I'll make sure we talk about that. There's a fact sheet on that as well, because we're not the only one wondering. So on this first page of the summary of proposed rules, you'll see that there's 2, so this is the right-hand column, additional requirements for forestry. The main point here is that forestry is already managed under our regional plan, and so we've added 1 additional requirement at the point of harvest for forestry. Point source policies, as I mentioned before, there are policies only that have been added to the existing Waikato regional plan, the future policies and rules on point sources, and I'll talk about them in a moment. So the plan change has 3 schedules, Schedule A, B and C. So these are things that you can think of them, that they are sort of underlying requirements that we would expect most people would be required to do. So a lot of the other rules refer to these schedules and say, you're a permitted activity if you comply with Schedule A, B and C, for example. So Schedule A is registration, which is simply providing basic information to the regional council. Schedule B is the nitrogen reference point, which we can talk about in a bit more detail, and that's providing the nitrogen leaching information for a property. And Schedule C is stock exclusion, which is specifying the types of stock and the types of streams that are required to have stock exclusion. So those things are often a requirement to comply with one of the rules. So I'll quickly talk about the rules. There are 7 rules. You can see on the next page there's Rule 1 and Rule 2. So the main purpose of these rules is to identify either small properties or low risk properties, low risk in terms of the loss of the full contaminants, and say if you're operating under these sorts of conditions or criteria or meeting these conditions, then you're a permitted activity. So remembering that this is all about farming activities. So these are small farming activities or farming activities that are at a low intensity scale or meet criteria for low risk. So effectively, these are the properties that the CSG said you do not need to prepare an individual farm environment plan because we feel the way that you're operating is of low risk, and so from now on you're going to be permitted. So these are all both permitted activities. So those are the small and the low risk. Over the page we get to Rule 3 and 4. So these are the main 2 rules, and the CSG considered that most typical farming activities will fall under one of these 2 rules. So both of these rules require the preparation of an individual farm environment plan. So a farm environment plan is effectively assessing the risk of loss from your property of the full contaminants, identifying actions that would minimise the risk of losing those contaminants, and then putting in timeframes to achieve those actions and then implementing them. So it's a bit of a plan that's tailored specifically for that property. And that was really recognised purpose here was to tailor those actions, what made sense for that property. So these two rules require preparing a farm environment plan. One is through the mechanism of a certified industry scheme. So if a particular industry sets up a scheme that is approved by the council and an individual signs up to that scheme, then they would operate under a permitted activity. So there's a schedule in the plan change that talks about the types of things that a scheme would need to do, and then any scheme would need to be approved by council. So obviously there are no schemes yet, because this has only been out for a little bit, but that is one avenue that individuals may wish to take if there is a scheme that they would choose to sign up to. The alternative pathway, both of these are expected to be comparable. They both require the same level of rigour. It's just that the farm environment plan under Rule 4 would be through a controlled activity resource consent with the regional council. So controlled activity, meaning it will be granted, and then the monitoring of that would be done by the council as opposed to the industry scheme. So those two rules are the ones where we expect most typical farming enterprises would fall under. Rule 5 is specifically for commercial vegetable production. So it's very similar to the other two rules, it's just that it's only for commercial vegetable production. It requires a controlled activity resource consent, and for those farmers to be signed up to a certified industry scheme, and it also has a slightly different recognising that the way that commercial vegetable production operates is quite different. They rotate around in different harvest cycles, they move across the landscape, and so there's a few different conditions on that. One being the area that is covered cannot exceed the maximum that had been covered in the last 10 years. So that's sort of allowing for the rotation of land to occur with the land, and the nitrogen reference point is also over a longer period, acknowledging that they go over different crop cycles. So that rule is specifically for commercial vegetable production. Rule 6 is effectively for anybody that's farming that doesn't fall into one of those rules. So that's a catch-all. It's a bit of a resource management act thing. You can't have somebody in the land. So that's a restricted discretionary, which means that you're going to be considering things about the food contaminants when considering that application. So we would expect that most people who are farming would be having to either operate under a permitted activity, meaning they do not need a consent as long as they meet the conditions, or to be operating under a controlled activity, which means they will receive consent.
But which one do the sheep farmers come under? I know we've got cattle, deer, pigs and cows there, but sheep seem to be set up somewhere along the line. What rule do they fit under?
So the list of animals that you just talked about is the animals that need to be excluded, so the exclusion requirements. All of the other rules talk about the use of land for farming. So a sheep and beef farmer, for example, would fall under either rules 1 to 4, depending on what type of intensity they're running at, that sort of thing. So they, if they're very, very extensive, they may fall under rule 2 and not require a resource consent. If they have a low stocking rate, for example, whereas most, in a general sense, are expected to fall under either Rule 3 or Rule 4. So Rule 3, if there is a certified scheme that they're able to sign up to and they choose to do that, or Rule 4, which would be a controlled activity consent. And one of the conditions of that would be to exclude stock from their water bodies, and as you've noticed, sheep is not on that list.
They're not, yeah, I sort of read from the sheep, Rule 4 must be the one that would fit most of them. They're just as pure sheep.
So the final rule that we'll talk about, well, that's in the plan change, is Rule 7. So this is the land use change rule, and this is a non-compliant activity. So this has, it's different to the other one. So this consent can be declined. It also has what's referred to as the gateway test. So it's quite a high threshold, and that was a deliberate decision by the CSG, which is effectively to say changes in land use from things listed in the left-hand column to things on the right-hand column generally result in an increase of discharges of the four contaminants, and that's going in the wrong direction from where we need the river to go. So the CSG didn't want people who are currently farming, they're preparing their farm plans, they're paying for actions, they're doing mitigations to reduce their contaminants, and then all undone by one conversion effectively. So that rule there is currently applies now. So if any activities listed in the left-hand column want to change to the right-hand column, they will need to come to the regional council and apply for a consent to undertake the change in that land use. So that's one that you've probably heard a lot about because that affects people's future opportunities. So one key thing for that rule is that it has an end date of 2026, acknowledging that this plan change is the first stage of a longer term goal, and that the CSG didn't anticipate that this way of managing contaminants should last for at least 80 years. They really intended it only to be for the next 10 years while they're gathering more information and setting up sort of a more sophisticated contaminant management regime for this area. And so that's why you'll notice a lot of the requirements is really about information. There's lots of gathering information from people and also methods in the plan about doing research about really how do we allocate the right to discharge. And so that was something that the CSG didn't feel that they could do a robust job of right now, and that we needed to set up the future to do that work along the way. So the next page of your handout is
Excuse me, it's not on Rule 7 there, maybe it's covered somewhere else, but the timing around that, what about work in progress, conversion process, how does that all work well?
Yes, that's a very good question. We do have some points that you need about the certificates of compliance, and we'll just check on that all the things that you're wondering I've talked about. So the next page you've got is proposed dates. So as all of these rules are about water, what the RMA says is that these rules have legal effect as soon as they're notified. So our notification was on the 22nd of October, so these rules have legal effect right now. The land use change one has legal effect. That means if someone wants to start changing land use now, they will need to apply for a consent. All of the other rules have dates written into them for compliance. So that means that the CSG said, wow, we can't expect everyone to get a farm plan tomorrow, that's crazy. We need to write in some dates to say, when in the future do we expect this to happen by? And so that's why we've got these different dates in the table. So the first requirements are simply through the information ones, so registration and nitrogen reference points, and that's in 2019. The next one is the 3 priority catchments, and so they're every 3 years. So in the folded out pamphlet, you've got a map on the inside of different coloured sub-catchments. So the red sub-catchments are priority 1, the orange are priority 2, and the yellow are priority 3. And that simply means what date do you need to finish preparing your farm environment plan by. And the intent there is that the sub-catchments that have the longest journey to go on from the current water quality to the 80-year goal, they start first. Like all the patents will be done in the next 10 years. So that's a little bit about the program and the different dates where these will.
Emma, just if I can go there, I understand, I have been told by out of the iwi, that Hauraki iwi have put a judicial review on this plan change. Does that not, what's the impact of that? Because it has been notified. Does that need to bring it right back to step 1 again? How does that work? Because I know that farm conversions that were actually existing had to stop. If there is a review, does that open it back up again so those sorts of things can continue? Yeah.
So when it comes to the Hauraki iwi, they have area of interest in the North Waikato.
Yes.
So in terms of their rohe,
Yes.
in accordance with Te Puni Kōkiri, in terms of what's on their side, with respect to where those rohe boundaries are. So that would be on this map on your handout, that would be sort of from Kokono down through Lake Waikiri, which is just the lake above Te Kokono, and sort of cutting in above.
So they just identified that area, not the whole.
That's exactly right.
So that actually can be cut off, I guess, and the rest of it still go ahead, or how does that work?
So we're still trying to work through just what that means and what the relief that they are seeking. But I guess very clearly failed to consult with Hauraki as an iwi authority, and that was an oversight. There was nothing deliberate in that process, and so that discussion is around how do we consult with Hauraki, then you actually consult retrospectively when you've been through this process. So it's a live discussion at the moment, and I don't know what the relief is that they'll be seeking through that process.
But at this stage, it won't stop the whole process and back to the beginning.
No. So the area of interest is just within that Hauraki rohe. And I guess the other thing to note is within that Hauraki rohe, that area is also covered under what we call Area A, which was the area subject to the vision and strategy as negotiated between Waikato Tainui and the Crown. So and this vision and strategy pertains to the area that is of interest to them as well. So in terms of whatever comes out of that process, it still needs to strive to achieve the vision and strategy.
Thank you for that.
I'll just point out the last few fact sheets that you've got in front of you so that President Taylor, I think you're wondering about, you may find it there. The next one is about using bushways, so that's about what type of stock, what type of foodways, when. The next one is on margin reference points, so it's a little bit about well, what is one and who needs it. So this is the nitrogen leaching losses for a property as calculated by a model overseer or another approved model, and that is calculated over a set reference period. So for commercial vegetable productions, that is an average over the 10 years from 2006 to 2016. And for all other farming activities, which are greater than 20 hectares, that's the highest annual nitrogen leaching loss for 1 or 2 years, either 2014-15 or 15-16. And so that information needs to be calculated, provided to the regional council, and then that will be used in your farm environment plan to say, well, how are you going to make sure that we do not exceed that leaching rate. One of the other things to note that you may have heard about is the 75th percentile. So this also relates to the nitrogen reference points. So once they are provided to council, the council will calculate what is the bell curve, what's the 75th percentile of all of those numbers for each freshwater management unit. And so that's to identify the high leaching farms, and that will become effectively a maximum cap. And so through your farm environment plan, you will identify actions if you are in that top 25th percentile to reduce your nitrogen to the 75th percentile. So that's saying in this 10 years we expect that the really high leaching comparative to the other leaching that's occurring, that those reductions are expected to be made in this 10 years. So that's a little bit about that. And the next one is on farm environment plans.
Sorry, can I just ask with regard to that nitrogen reference point? The 2 years that have been used are years where the milk price hasn't been very good, and farms have probably put on less fertiliser, so that reference point is probably not a great representation point. Is there any talk about that? I guess that wasn't to be foreseen when this was being written, but has that been brought up as an issue? Or?
Yeah, so as you saw on the little picture about the proactive stakeholder group, was we had dairy farmers on our group, and they were aware of the changes in the prices and what that means for the actions that people took on their farm. So effectively, it was a balancing act between the variability of the prices and also the requirement to the information that you need to work out, to run overseer and to work out what the nitrogen reference point. The further back in time you go, the harder it's going to be for people to have records. So I guess it was acknowledged that that those 2 years, or any year, will be affected by all sorts of different factors, including weather and drought. And so it was effectively they just had to pay some. They wanted to make it not too much of a burden for people, but acknowledge that they weren't great years for the
councillor Lucina. Yeah.
Thank you. Looking at this map, I mean, I understand the healthy rivers and things. So if you have a farm, for example, in Manamana, you can do whatever you want. No? This is what I'm, you know, like if you have a farm here, it doesn't affect you at all, is that correct?
So the current Waikato regional plan rules apply across the whole region, so they still apply. And it's just in this catchment that you see coloured on the map that these new additional rules apply. So in Manamana currently there are no extra new requirements as per this plan change. And they, whatever those new rules may be, are not designed yet, and they will be another plan change that the council will do later.
These are focused particularly on the Waikato and Waipā rivers only, so that one would be the